I learned one thing from yesterday's game, and that is, if the Cleveland Browns had a full team of 53 Nick Chubbs, then maybe Super Bowl champions. Well, actually, the coaching staff would also have to be Nick Chubb to give Nick Chubb the ball, but the Browns would be Super Bowl champions. And that is because Nick Chubb is a monster that is still neglected to be talked about in major running back conversations. I mean, this man leads the league in rushing with over 1,400 yards, has a yards per carry of 5.2, and still isn't even in top 5 discussions, which is kind of insane. My name's RZFL Sports, and we are back after a short little break. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Thank you to all that have gotten me to 1,000 subscribers. Leave any video ideas down in the comment section below, and let's go ahead and get into it. As I said before, Nick Chubb is over 1,400 yards and leads the league in rushing. He is insane, is an absolute baller, and runs over or around anything in his path. When he gets the ball deep in the backfield, he can take a couple of shots, break tackles, run through lanes, cut back into the zone, and go ahead and break big runs. I mean, this guy is insane, to say the least. And he's not being used right at all, and still leads the NFL in rushing. I mean, it's kind of weird that people still think Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, even Todd Gurley are better than him. It doesn't make any sense. The only two backs that you could even argue are better than him are Christian McCaffrey, who would have a shot at MVP if there wasn't Lamar Jackson, and then Dalvin Cook. There's no one that's even close to Nick Chubb outside of that. Derrick Henry may have been on the rise, but still. Nick Chubb provides two things: explosive plays and consistency. And he does it week after week after week. He's averaging over 100 yards a game, the first Browns back since Jim Brown. You look at all these historic rushing records, and you see Nick Chubb's name next to the legendary Jim Brown. I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself. And the Browns do have a rich running back history with other backs like Kevin Mack and Marion Montsley. You have backs, and Nick Chubb is up here with perhaps the greatest running back of all time. Still, no one talks about it. You look at this 33-yard touchdown yesterday against the Cardinals, and he put everything on display. Got into the lane, won it, took it all the way after numerous broken tackles. And this just shows you how much of a beast he is. This year, though, there is one thing that he really has not been involved in, and that's the receiving game. We've seen Freddie Kitchens run, well, the same halfback screen week in and week out. And that's not how you get Nick Chubb involved in the receiving game. Yes, you're going to throw a couple of those, and he's going to break. He's going to get yards after the catch and give you first downs, but it gets predictable after a while, and as we've seen in recent film, it is very predictable. He has more yards after catch than total receiving yards this year, which is a problem. Nick Chubb has hands, and right now the Browns have Kareem Hunt, who is obviously the better receiving back, but I would like to see Nick Chubb go out and run some routes. Freddie Kitchens is kind of holding him back, and that's the insane thing about this. Nick Chubb has an insane amount, over 1,600 scrimmage yards, close to 1,700, and yet is still being held back by Freddie Kitchens. We forget about this because of all the other problems that Freddie Kitchens has, well, added to this team, but no one talks about this one. And Nick Chubb, with some help, with getting the ball even more, could put up historical numbers. Not just these monster numbers, but historical numbers. Nick Chubb, in addition to this, is also a very humble guy, and that's going to help possibly keeping him around. He cares about the team, and he cares about winning, something that a lot of Browns players are not looking at right now. Anyway, Nick Chubb deserves some love. He leads the league in Pro Football Focus grade with an 89, has the highest rushing grade as well, and is running through anything in his path. It's time to start talking about him as a top 3 back, maybe even number 1. Thank you guys for watching. This is RZFL Sports. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more football content. And RZFL Sports signing off, guys.